Welcome, everybody. This is, I guess it's really like the week one, even though last week was week one, it's week one-ish. Man, we're so excited for high school football. You know, so many great people, helping out players, so many great coaches, Arizona is really becoming just an amazing place for high school football. You got people moving here to be a part of it. And my co-host, one of those guys that is a true, pioneer, coached at Arizona State, played here locally, coached. I mean, he's just, he's an Arizona guy, true and blue. And I'm blessed. My co-host, Vince Delisio from the Varsity Sports Show. If you guys have not tuned in, please, Varsity Sports Show, 9 a.m. Saturday morning, 1060. Vince, here we go, man. Week one-ish.
Definitely. I'm excited. And, this has been a lot of fun. It's been an interesting week. I will say this, and I know we're pressed for time, but I'll just say really quickly, it's the environment that we live in. There have been some changes in the schedule already. And I know that we're not going to talk about some of the schools that the changes have happened, but we have a Thursday night game. Originally, it was Camelback Trevor Brown. Now it's Camelback Flagstaff. We had a Friday night game. Originally, it was Canyon View and who did they open with? I can't even remember now who they opened with. Now it's Canyon View at Peoria now.
Peoria, right.
And so, it's crazy. Oh, it was Lake Havasu they were opening with. So it's the environment now. It's the age that we live in, unfortunately, and that's what happens. As long as the kids get on the field and they can play, that's all that matters. And luckily, the coaches have been flexible enough to make it happen. The administrators, the families, thank you. And let's play. It'll be a lot of fun this week.
Yeah, I wish we can highlight every game, but like you said, unfortunately, we can't. So every week we're going to try to pick a couple key games, and we're going to try to rotate it. If you guys are not tuned in, Thursday night football, place to be. Definitely, we'll put the link out there in the bio to sign up. If you're not subscribed to the Football Network, NFHS, definitely get subscribed. But let's kick it off with Estrella Foothills.
Yep.
Going to Paradise Honors. I was at that game last week, the Paradise Honors game. I'll let you start it off.
Well, what I will say about these two teams is that what I know of Estrella Foothills is that these guys have had athlete after athlete come through, and they have been a power running team. I don't know, you've seen Paradise Honors more than I have. I know that Coach Josh Goodlow is a good guy. They got a great athletic director in Ben Clark. Yes. Outside of that, I don't know a lot about him.
Well, I'll tell you, Estrella Foothills, they got an offensive lineman over there, really flying hard under the radar, Max Micarelli. Okay. Special young man, very well put in. And they got, some guys on defense that can make some plays too. Donnell Danley, and there's a couple of others, but new coach, great program. They're always in the middle of it. They're always right there. They're traveling to a Paradise Honors team that really, was impressive last week in a lot of ways. Like I said, Trivium was a very well-coached program under Mike Spencer, and Paradise Honors, doesn't have their transfers. And man, there's a young man at quarterback. His name is Isaiah Thomas, and he was very impressive. He made some key plays, and Josh Goodlow gambled. He gambled on that one. He literally, his two biggest plays of the game came on a 4th and 15 and a 4th and 14.
Wow.
And he got both first downs. And Dylan Hoyt, the running back over there, is carrying the ball with a vengeance. This is a very good football team. Mikey Young, the defensive back, looks great. I'm excited to see this game. I think Foothills always comes to play, but I'm very, very excited to see how Paradise Honors comes off of a win. And I'm going to give the nod to my guys over at Paradise. I think they're gonna pull this one out. I really do, and I think it's going to be a huge win for them.
High praise from the guru himself.
Oh, we have to talk about. the game of all games, the rematch, Cactus and Mesquite.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of people looking forward to this one. Cactus's motto is what? Unfinished business.
Unfinished
And
business.
they got 2 years of unfinished business in this one. The franchise, Ty Thompson, moves on, goes to Oregon. But I think Mesquite's going to do okay. I do. I think they are a very well coached team. They got an offensive lineman over there, Joshua Stokes, who's extremely impressive. I think they're going to put up a fight. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I think they're going to put up a fight. But man, let me tell you something. This Joseph Ortiz Cactus team has it together, Vince. I mean, they have player after player after player after player. I don't know if you've had a chance to see any of their games last year, but they play on a level that you can't even explain. You just feel the vibe. You know, they're always in it. They're extremely well coached. Aki, Ata, Jojo. I mean, it's just Mason Cullip, Vinny Burgo, Chris Thomas Jr. There's athlete after athlete. We could keep going on this one. What do you think about this game?
Well, what I remember, so I was out at Cactus's practice a couple times last year. We did one of their games, and I remember they had a quarterback that was a sophomore that was very good. He was had a lot of courage, and he's back. And obviously with Mesquite losing the player of the year, Coach Scott Hare over there always does a really good job of reloading. And I mean, but Cactus has a little more in key positions returning.
Yeah.
There's unknowns with Mesquite. Don't know who is going to be the guy getting the nod this year. But whoever it is has some big shoes to fill. So if it comes down to the wire, like that state championship game, it may not go the way it did last year when they meet up this week.
I will say this, that was one of the best high school football games I think I was ever a part of.
Yeah.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And I don't want to leave out the two-way superstar over at Mesquite. Andrew Morris is committed to Marshall. Unbelievable. A game changer. 6'2", 215. Plays amazingly aggressively on both sides of the ball. Wherever they put him, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I think Cactus is going to be too much in this one. I've got Cactus finally getting the unfinished business taken care of. You want to take a shot at this one?
Well, next on guessing the outcome.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm gonna have to agree with you. If Cactus is returning all the kids that played in those key positions last year, it should go their way. I don't know that it's going to be a 1-point differential, but it'll be a close game, I'd imagine. And Coach Hare and his staff do a really good job of game planning. He's got a solid coaching background in just that, and making the most out of what he has. Aside from the fact that he had the player of the year last year, anything close to that, and he's gonna field a really good team this year.
Here's a game that nobody is looking forward to, probably except for me. And I don't care, because that's fine. I am a huge Central Bobcat fan. I have not hid that fact. Coach Hovick and the boys are ready to roll, man. And they play their crosstown rival, and they're playing North, and they better bring their A game, buddy, because I'll tell you what, this is an excellent football team. I promise you. I've watched numerous practices.
Yeah.
I have the utmost confidence in this staff. They've got an unbelievable staff. Offensive coordinator, Matt Allen.
Okay.
Coach Jay from OTB is coaching the DBs. Hovick is the leader amongst leaders. This team is playing for something. Okay. They have lost two teammates tragically, and the athletes, the moment, just, you're going to see what Central High School you're going to see the future of Central High School football. And I just really, really am pulling for them. Dominic Bogchi, it's really the quarterback. the Notre Dame prep transfer. It's his first shot at the varsity level to show what he can do. I got my eyes on this one. I think Central puts it all together and plays with some passion.
I will have to say that, you know, I've known Coach Mark Mejia at North High School for a lot of years. He grew up here in the Valley. He was a quarterback and was a student of Coach Mike Giovando when Coach Gio was coaching high school football at Carl Hayden. Mm-hmm. And Mejia loves to throw the ball. If he finds a seam in that Central Bobcat secondary, it's going to be a long night for Central, but that will be I think the only way that North pulls out the win here is if Coach gets the passing game going early. I don't know too much about these guys other than the fact that you know, the coaching staff is pretty solid staff. Outside of that, I can't speak with a lot of intelligence, which I very rarely do anyway.
Yeah, we both rivalry. That's fine. We never said we were smart. That's fine. That's right. The honesty factor.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be. It's a rivalry game.
Yeah, it'd be a good game.
It's going to be a good one. But yeah. Carter Allen, the wide receiver over at Central, probably one of the best kept wide receiver secrets in the Valley.
Okay.
I think it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. This is one I'm going to be watching the phone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's not one I'm going to be making, but.
Well, I have to ask you this question. Where does Central get these linemen? Every once in a while, they come up with like a big defensive lineman. Where do they get these kids?
I'll tell you what, there's so much talent over there. And you know, in a conversation I have with Coach Hovick, he says, we don't need to go out and recruit. We just need to keep our homegrown talent here.
Yeah.
And he did a free 7th and 8th grade football clinic.
Uh-huh.
At a beautiful brand new field, like, you know, all these Phoenix Unions teams have.
Yeah.
And there was probably 60, 70, 80 kids there. It was amazing.
Wow.
It was such a great experience. So they're going to start winning some games. They're going to start keeping some kids, and I'm excited for them.
Good.
Chaparral, Queen Creek.
Okay.
Two winners. Joe Germain goes over to Mesa Mountain View. Travis Sherman takes over as the head coach of Queen Creek. Mm-hmm. Nothing but the utmost respect for this man, because I've got an offensive lineman on that team named Mac Taylor, who's recently picked up a few offers. His recruiting has taken off. Great kid, great family, definitely somebody to watch this year. You know, coach took the job over, let him get his feet wet. He beat me to the punch. He reached out to me and said, hey, thank you for everything you're doing for Mac. If you ever need any help, here's my information. Just let me know. That is such an amazing, in a world of egos and a spot and a town and a state where everybody keeps people at arm's length. This is a class act. This is a coach who cares about his kids and says, hey, if you can help him, if I can help him, if Vince can help him, whatever, we're all in this together. Okay. And I'm rooting for him, but he's walking into a hornet's nest. Coach Barnes and Chaparral, arguably the best quarterback in the Valley. Okay. And Brayton Silbor. Yeah. A stud defense, Eastwood, Harkless, Higley. I mean, we can go on forever. I don't know if Queen Creek has the firepower to match up with Chaparral.
If Queen Creek wins out the gate this year, a lot of it is in large part due to the administration. I think with working with the new coach and their AD, Renee Rigoli, who came over 2 years ago she came over last year from Campo Verde. And she's a longtime AD at Campo Verde, came over to Queen Creek. She is all about football. When Campo played in the state championship game, she was pacing the sidelines, yelling at the kids, yelling at the quarterback, yelling at the coaches. I mean, she is all about the sports and the football. So that new coach out there is going to have a lot of support from that administration.
That's great. And I love when an offensive line coach gets the head job, Coach Sherman, O-line guy. So expect them to run the ball. They're big up front.
Yeah.
But Chaparral, New Mexico commit Braden Silbor.
Yeah.
He's got a couple big targets. We all know about the superstars on that team. Firebirds probably pull this one off, but I think Queen Creek's going to really have their stuff together. I'm expecting a good season out of them.
Yep. Agreed.
Pinnacle Horizon. This is an awesome game. And I'll tell you the main reason this is an awesome game. Thursday Night Football, the halftime show. If you guys didn't listen to it or are going to listen to it, we talk about the starting quarterbacks of this game. Zach Wren gets the nod, finally gets his shot over at Pinnacle. Skylar Partridge and Drew Boxwell over at Horizon. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be an absolute air raid show. Touchdown, 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 touchdown. Watch, the game winds up 6-3. But, Ethan Tinsley is a great athlete on the Horizon squad. Booby. I mean, they got so many guys. It's going to be a great matchup, man. There's no way around this. This is top 3 or 4 games of the week.
Yeah. You can't deny the coaching experience here in Pinnacle. Coach Zupke, this guy, he opened the school, and he was a longtime assistant at Chaparral. This guy knows how to develop kids, knows how to develop teams, and he is, in essence, the place that high school quarterbacks go outside of one or two other schools around the state. I mean, it just seems that all these great quarterbacks come out of Pinnacle year in and year out. So, it's a great Paradise Valley school district rivalry. It's earlier than the season than I would have expected, but they're going to get after it right away. So
yeah, I'm excited to see this one. Pinnacle's got some athletes too. They got some DBs, some guys that can make some plays. The Deuce, one of the top rated players in the country. So that's going to be a tough matchup for Horizon. So I don't know if I could pick this one, but I mean, Pinnacle's going to be probably really tough to beat on this one. But I think it's going to be a close game. I do. I think it's going to be a close game.
Agree. And I give the nod to Pinnacle in this, particularly this early in the season. So, yeah.
Great game. I mean, arguably game of the day for me, I think. Basha, O'Connor travels to Basha, a rematch of last year's playoffs. Ton of players returning on both sides of the ball.
Well, you have one kid in particular at O'Connor that has been getting offer after offer, that linebacker. Great kid.
Brandon Craddock is an amazing young man, very highly ranked linebacker. Got some preferred walk-on opportunity, which was a committable opportunity to Arizona State and Arizona. Both programs have a plan in place for him. It's in a time where recruiting is difficult because there's no money really out there. 4.2, 4.1 GPA kid. He's a full academic scholarship to both schools.
Wow.
That's a great opportunity. See, some people don't understand the PWO. Even people, I'm not going to go deep into it, but even some of the coaches don't even understand what the PWO is. When I'm on the phone with a college coach and he says, hey, he's got a roster spot, we want him, we just don't have the money. I got that solved. He's getting a full scholarship. He qualifies for the Sun Devil Scholarship or the Wildcat Award. So, and he's got a couple other great opportunities, but I don't want to, I talk a lot about him. There's some other guys on that O'Connor team that really, 2 quarterbacks that we also talked about on Thursday night. Ethan Young just won his transfer case. He's eligible. Jace Snyder, not only is he a great quarterback, he's probably one of the best punters in the entire Valley. They got a sophomore linebacker over there. Junior linebacker. I'm a year behind. Blake Ware, freak, stud. Jackson Barton is a sophomore cornerback. Everybody needs to watch out for. Coach McDonald and Basha are so good, though. Yeah, the best, probably the best, one of the best, if
Yeah.
not the best sophomore quarterback in, I mean, one of them in the country. They got DB wide receiver Jordan Anderson, Ty Robinson on the defensive line is a force to be reckoned with. Ben Frick, not to mention the superstars. I mean, this is a really good Basha team. This is a very well coached Basha team. This one's coming down to the wire. I
Yeah.
really do believe that.
Well, and speaking of, you got a new coach whose name is extremely familiar around the valley at O'Connor.
How can I leave off Brian Cole?
The guy's won 3 state championships at 3 different levels.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. A huge move. A huge I mean, look, I have always been a Brian Cole fan. This is a guy that will tell you to your face 2 + 2 = 4. And the answer is never going to change. He is a man's man. He is a leader of men. He is, I'm telling you, I have no problem saying one of my favorite coaches in the Valley because of who he is as a person, not who he is as a coach. But his track record is pretty good at controlling the ball. So I'm interested to see what they do offensively because their defensive front seven probably just as good as anybody in the state.
Yeah.
All right, let's close it. This is where I'm going. No, I'm not a homer. I'm excited to see this one. Plus, I have 22 kids in this game.
Whoa.
Yep. Mountain Ridge travels to Liberty.
Okay.
And this is going to be a good game. Liberty has 2 quarterbacks transfer out. One goes to your alma mater. Max Martin transfers out, goes to Camelback.
Yeah.
Ethan Young transferred to O'Connor that we just talked about when he had just moved into town. Originally, he was going to go to Liberty. So I don't even know if Coach Thomas has named the starter over there. I'm a big Navi Brunson fan. They have a sophomore quarterback who's a stud. Jack Stam, the safety, is arguably the best, definitely the hardest hitting safety in the state, but arguably one of the overall best defenders in the defensive backfield. You got some dudes over there. Darren Barrows, the big tight end, Leighton Vining on the O-line. So Coach Thomas, he's going to have these guys ready. And if you've ever been to Liberty on opening day, that's a pretty special place. Flip the script. This Mountain Ridge team has that 23 class coming into their junior year. One of the top 23 quarterbacks in the country, I believe, in Brendan Anderson. I think he's very highly underrated, has an offer from Yale. The defensive front, Coach Madosky's son, Christian Aguiar, Kirkland, the long, big defensive end. These guys are pretty solid up front. And I would say, I know this is a big statement, probably the best offensive line in Arizona is being overlooked. Caden Hicks at left tackle is a multi-offer, 6'4", 265-pound guy. Right tackle is my main man, Alex Deuce, multiple Power 5 offers. I was told by a Power 5 coach this week that he is our first pick of the draft. Like, he's the guy we want. And you got the Sanchez brothers, Lucas Bender. This is a very good team. Terrence Hall is a freak athlete. I am not going to make fans. I had a chance to talk with Doug Madosky today. And I said, Coach, I'm coming to the game. And this is my game of the week. And you can tell, I mean, good friend of yours running the JUCO program. He's got so much vested into this Mountain Ridge team. And you can just hear in his voice how bad he wants this game.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best defensive coaches I personally have ever been around. I can say that. And a lot of people have this as a Liberty business as usual game. If Doug
I'm
can get if
yeah.
Doug can get the pressure on them, Vince, anything can happen.
I'm truly curious to see, when you say that Doug Madosky, when you could see it in his face, he doesn't normally display much emotion. We kind of joke around, and I tell him, look, I'm going to get you to smile this week. And he doesn't smile, but anyway, that's another story for another day. But we talk about Liberty, and Liberty 1 point away from playing the state championship in the Open last year. They lose in overtime in the semis to Chandler. And Coach Colin Thomas, very calm guy, very even keeled guy. He doesn't let his emotions get the best of him. And meanwhile, you got a guy on the other side of the field that's a great defensive coach in Madosky that's the same way. You wonder just what it's going to come down to, and ultimately, the team that wins is Captain Obvious, the team that makes the fewest mistakes and has the better players on that given night. So
this one could come down to special teams. It could be. I think I think Liberty's quarterback play. They had Zacchaeus Cooper transfer out to Saguaro. That hurt a lot. I mean, he was the meat and potatoes of that team. Brock Mass goes on, graduates.
Yeah,
we have to see. We have to say. I mean, the quarterback edge goes to Mountain Ridge. Brendan Anderson, is the real deal, and that offensive line can protect him. You got a great quarterback with a great offensive line. That's two parts of a really big puzzle that you're filling in.
Yeah,
I take Mountain Ridge in the upset.
Wow.
I'm gonna roll with that one. Oof. It's also my stepdaughter's first varsity cheer game, so that's another reason why I had to go to that one. I didn't want to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, there you go. Good choice.
Hey guys, my recruits report. Thank you for joining us. Okay, couple key things. Make sure you're following the Varsity Sports Show. Make sure you tune in on Saturdays, okay, to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060. It's a great show. They cover everything. When you're having your Saturday bagel and your cup of coffee, tune in. We're going to start a little giveaway thing that Vince and I are working on for the listeners. So, My Recruits has got some great sponsors out there. Vince and the Varsity Sports Show has some great sponsors. So we're excited for what's going on. Just keep on doing your thing. Be true to yourself and have faith in the people that have faith in you guys. On behalf of the Varsity Sports Show and Vince DeLisio, I'm Coach Perrone at My Recruits. We'll catch you next week. Enjoy the week.